So let's say a bank A wants to transfer 50 million.
Let's now move on to the core of our discussion, which is privacy, right? And there's been so much of buzz, so much written about it. There are so many players out there who have built privacy solutions for specific stacks. Now, they probably address different aspects of privacy, but from a bank's business leader's perspective, I think it might be good if you could explain what privacy actually should mean for that.
Yeah, so let's see privacy from the lens of a blockchain system.
Yeah.
Now, blockchain being a decentralized technology, that clearly means that the data is transparent, and the transparency and programmable logic as part of smart contracts enables trust.
Yeah.
But trust and transparency comes at a cost of data.
Yeah.
And that is where privacy comes in. In a banking system, the privacy means who can see what kind of transactions.
Yeah.
So that means, selective disclosure becomes very important. Access controls become very important. So let me illustrate this with a typical example in a banking scenario. Let's take a case of a tokenized deposit in banking system. So let's say a bank A wants to transfer $50 million to bank B as part of the tokenized deposit settlement. In a traditional banking system, the way it works is that they have clearing houses or they have some kind of settlement systems through which this transaction can happen.
Right.
And it is already completely private. Nobody can see this transaction. Only the counterparties know what kind of transactions had happened and the details of the transaction. So counterparties involve the amount of transaction and who is the corporate for which the transaction is being done, the corporate client.
Right.
Now, in the case of blockchain, if you run this on a public chain or even a permission chain, the details of the transactions are still available using Block Explorer or, doing an API call on the RPC nodes.
Right.
And that's where people may come to know who are the counterparties, what amount has been transacted, who is the corporate client behind the transaction. Now, that is definitely not done because from a compliance standpoint, from business standpoint, this is not acceptable in the financial stocks. So that's why they require privacy. And in a privacy-based system, still the blockchain will be used to validate the transaction. If let's say some kind of smart contract based compliances are required, that again will be implemented. That who are the parties, the transaction happens, it is validated. There is an audit trail so that regulatory oversee can still be there. So you gain all the benefits of blockchain.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, none of the other parties would be able to see who the counterparties are, what kind of amount of has been transacted. So that is, bringing privacy, which has been there in the traditional bank system.
Yeah.
And combining it with the value of a blockchain system. That's where, institutional privacy in regulated blockchain systems becomes super, super important.
Yeah. And just to add to that, I think, you asked a very important question, what does privacy really mean to them? I think one thing that we should understand is that privacy can mean different things to different use cases.
Yeah.
Within banking space itself. Yeah. You want to look at the privacy within the ledger, you want to look at privacy at the access control level, the application level, but also what is being transmitted to each other, what is being executed between each other.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a interesting way of looking at it and understanding.